Coach Lee with myexpatcoach.com, and I'm going to be talking to you about how you can know or have a good idea if your ex wants you back. Take a second and click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more content that's helpful to your situation, and that includes attraction and relationships in general as well, not just breakups. So a lot of times when I'm speaking to someone on the phone, a coaching client, they want to know how they can know if their ex wants them back. And they're not really sure if the ex is going to be very specific and direct, which is what most people think. Most people think that when your ex wants you back, that they will reach out and be very direct and just say, I want you back. Will you take me back? I want to get back together. And interestingly enough, that's rarely the case because they actually fear a lot of the same things that you fear, which is rejection. And so I've actually gotten to speak with people who do the dumping and contact me wanting to know how to get their ex back. And a lot of times their fear is that if they just directly reach out to them and say, I want to get back together, that the other person will reject them, which is kind of ironic. So the first thing that I want you to know is that it's not always obvious, that they don't just always go out on a limb and be extremely direct with you. But that does not mean that they don't want you back. And so you have to figure out the subtle things that imply that they want you back. Now that does not mean that you reach out, and I'm going to go over that in detail. Just because you think they want you back, just because you see signs, does not mean that you should reach out. I'm going to tell you why. I'll be doing that after I go over some of the ways that your ex can express wanting you back, or at least show signs of wanting you back. So one thing that they might do is they might like things on social media. So they might like things on Facebook, or they might like family members' things on Facebook. If your friends, family were to post something or a picture of you or something about you and your ex liked it. Now, sometimes people will ask me if that's enough to reach out. It is definitely not, because you want to keep it equal as far as the way you reach out. A like on Facebook is not the same thing as a direct text message or a call. One of them is more invested and more intimate than the other. And so if your ex likes a post on Facebook that you make, it's not equal for you to respond with a text to them. It makes it look like you're more invested, which after a breakup, you certainly don't want to look more invested, because all that does is feed their ego, help them keep you in backup plan mode because they believe that you would be easy to get back, that all they have to do is contact you and boom, they would have you back, so they can just do whatever and they don't have to feel the effects of the breakup. They don't have to live in the reality of the breakup because they feel that they can get you back any second. And so it doesn't even feel like a real breakup. There's no sense of loss to them. And so that's very important that you don't allow them to feel that you're more invested. We want them to feel the space and the distance and that they have to move toward you. So we don't want you moving toward them. And of course, right after a breakup, you should be in no contact and applying the no contact rule anyway. So you wouldn't be texting or calling them unless it's in direct response to them doing the exact same thing. Because you don't ignore someone in no contact, it's just that you don't initiate contact. So if your ex likes something on Facebook that you post, or they like a picture of you that someone else posts, or a picture of the two of you maybe that someone else would post for some reason, that could indicate that they are missing you, that they are interested, that they might want to get back together, but it's not enough for you to reach out because it's not certain. It's just a good sign. It usually means that they are thinking good things about you, they're remembering good things about you, and they see a picture and they have good feelings for you, and so they click like. Sometimes they might want you to see that, and they could be testing you just a little bit, even if they don't realize it. They should not get the message that all they have to do is like something on Facebook and you get all excited and call them. That would make you look really pathetic. It would make you look weak, and we cannot afford that right now. So, yes, it's a good sign. It is not definite, and it is not cause for you to reach out to them if you want to get your ex back. The next thing is going to be the simple one, which is they text you. Now, you would be surprised how confusing this can be, because sometimes someone will go into no contact after being broken up with, and they will hear from their ex in a couple of weeks, 3 weeks. They'll get a message that seems really casual, like, how are you doing? Or how are you holding up? Which is a little bit insulting because it implies that you're the one hurting and they're feeling sorry for you, so they're checking on you since they're the ones who dumped you. That's hit or miss. But if they just kind of say, how are you doing? Or just wanted to see how you're doing, or how's your week going? Or they ask about a specific event, like how did the interview go? Or how's your new business going that you started? Or something like that. A lot of times someone who's been dumped will get that message from their ex, and they will not think that it's a sign that the ex is interested, when usually it is. Usually there's a reason that they reached out to you, and it's because they miss you. They want to feel your presence, and texting with you is a casual way to do it. They don't risk a lot, and it could very well mean that they are interested in getting back together. Now again, that does not mean that you respond by saying, oh, I've missed you so much, I want to get back together. You want to let them come to you. Now I have other videos about how to respond when your ex contacts you during no contact, but you want to keep things casual. And if it's going really well, it's okay for you to say, when are you free for coffee or something like that. That's if it's going very well. Otherwise, if it's just mediocre, like a 5 to 7 on a scale of 1 to 10, you want to let the conversation go, because you should not be carrying it. Again, you should not be carrying the conversation. And let it go. If they don't say something that's worthy of a response, like they haven't really asked a question, they just kind of made a casual statement in the conversation, do not respond and let the conversation fall. You will likely hear from them again in 2 to 5 days. And if that goes well, you can say, when are you free to have coffee? That can be very effective in getting them back face to face, which is the gold standard of what you really want to do to give yourself the absolute best chance and best probability of getting them back. Face to face is so important. And so when they reach out to you by text, know that they are missing you. They are wanting to feel your presence. And that's what no contact does. It allows them to miss you, and they are responding to that. But they just don't know quite what to say. And the other thing is, they don't know for sure that they want to get back together. It's a general feeling. So on a scale of 1 to 100, maybe they're 52% sure they want to get back together. So they're just kind of wading into the water with you, see how it feels, and to see how you react. Because if you can't handle it, if you keep having the reaction that you're going to try to go into a relationship talk and you're going to get all excited and emotional, maybe you try to force conversation, then they are going to be less likely to reach out again, and they'll think, I'm going to wait until I'm 100% sure, because they don't want you getting all excited. They don't want to cause you to get your hopes up, and so they will avoid reaching out to you. That's why it's so important that you prove to them that you can have interaction with them where you don't turn it into a relationship talk, you don't make it awkward, and you are upbeat and positive. That way they know they can interact with you even when they're not 100% certain that they want the relationship back. They know they can reach out if they just think they do. That's very important. So oftentimes when they reach out to you, ask how you're doing, they are missing you, they do want to get back together. That doesn't mean you pounce on that. You must stay patient. You must let them keep coming to you. You could set up a face-to-face, and I have information and videos, especially in my emergency breakup kit, which you can learn more about at myexbackcoach.com. That's myexbackcoach.com. And you can look at the emergency breakup kit. It has information on how to behave, how to interact with them when you do meet up with them face to face after they've reached out following the breakup. But the key is in many ways to be casual and to be upbeat and positive and to be playful and flirty. I get into far more of the details of that in the breakup kit. Another way that you can know that your ex is likely interested, or at least considering things, and if you go into no contact, and then if they do interact with you, if you show them you can just have normal interaction without turning it into a relationship talk or awkward or I'm so depressed and down, I miss you. If they know you're not going to do that, then they're more likely to do these things, and they're more likely to follow up these things with things that are more powerful and more direct. So if your ex goes to your friends and family and asks about you, or, and this is a big one, if they ask if you're seeing anybody else or if you're dating anybody else, that's very big. Again, this is not enough to reach out to them because they have not reached out to you. And it would make you look weak, it would make you look pathetic, and that you're way more invested if you reach out to them just because you happen to find out that they have reached out to your friends or family about you, that they have asked about you. That would make you look way too interested, way too giddy. It would be bad. So if they reach out to your friends and family and ask if you're dating somebody else or if there's anybody else in your life, that does not mean you should contact your ex. It means you should be encouraged. You should continue what you're doing, which is no contact, living your life, working on yourself, and just know that they are moving in the right direction. And the odds of them directly reaching out to you are increasing. The pressure on them is getting to where they're having difficulty taking it. And they are certainly curious, as you hear me talk about a lot. The first stage after relief is curiosity. They go into relief immediately following the breakup, and if you leave them alone, they get through that stage fairly quickly, and they go into curiosity, where they're curious. Why are you not chasing them? Why are you not begging and pleading for them back? Do you not want them back quite as much as they thought? Are they not as attractive as they thought because they felt way more attractive when they broke up with you because they were the ones dismissing you, and your attraction went down and they felt like theirs went up? Well, now it's going back the other way. Yours is coming back up because you're not chasing them, which attractive people who have lots of options and have a great life, they don't feel the need to chase somebody. They feel that they are attractive as they are, they can stand as they are, and the other person will come to them and be attracted to them. And so that raises your level of attraction, and your ex begins to doubt their own. So things begin to equalize. They begin to see you as more of an equal partner, or maybe even more attractive than them, and that's when the odds of them reaching out to you heighten. So if you have done those things, and you see that they are reaching out to your friends or family asking about you, then you know the odds are getting good and the pressure on them is mounting. Their curiosity is increasing, possibly even turning into fear that they could lose you. And so them reaching out to you is a very strong possibility. So that's another way that they could show their interest, that they are interested in getting back together with you, is that they do some spy work on you with your friends and your family. Another way they could show that they're interested is that they want to come over and get their stuff that they've left at your house. Especially if these things can be easily delivered, shipped, or mailed to them, and they still want to come over, that's a really good sign. It's not foolproof, it's not 100%, but if they want to come over to get their stuff, and they reach out to you about it, and decline your offer to ship it or mail it to them, that's a really good sign. When they come over, just be ready to invite them to have a simple cup of coffee with you. Maybe you've already made coffee and you were about to have a cup, and just say, sit down and have a cup of coffee with me. Or maybe if it's something more than that, like maybe you have a bottle of wine and you see them look at it and you say, I was about to have a glass of wine, have a seat. Keep things casual. Remember good times, catch up a little bit. Don't bring up the relationship. Don't try to do that. Don't ask for them back. Be comfortable, be content with just having a good conversation with them, positive experience that you can use as a starting point for hopefully more interaction, and to at least let them see you at your best, which is not begging and pleading and groveling to them. Let them see you as a confident person who's interacting with them, showing off your conversation skills, making them laugh, being flirty and playful, that kind of thing, so that they can have something to look back at when they walk out the door. And of course, if something was to happen and somebody was to kiss somebody, that'd be even better. Have the courage to do that if you feel like they are really enjoying themselves and things are going well. That's important. Physical contact, physical interaction to as much level as possible is very good in that situation. It connects the two of you, it reminds them, and in a lot of ways, it's a form of getting back together, or at least it can be. And that's another thing you should avoid, is defining the relationship. Let it exist before you define it again. So if you think you're getting back together, don't ask, so are we back together now? Assume it. If you're flirty, playful, if you're physical and you kiss each other and hug each other, that's what couples do. So act as though you're back together. Let it be the case before you define it. That's actually a very good thing. So these are some of the main ways that you can know if your ex is interested in getting back together with you. I go over more of these in my emergency breakup kit, but these really give you a really good idea of what you can expect, and some of these don't seem as obvious. At least that's the case according to a lot of my coaching clients, because it's not obvious to them. And I want you to know that these things are very good signs. And if you see them, then you should take some comfort in knowing that your ex does seem to be moving towards you. You can find out more about my emergency breakup kit at myexbackoach.com, or if you'd like to schedule a coaching call with me, you can do so at myexbackoach.com. This has been Lee with myexbackoach.com. Thank you for watching.